Yo, the Democrats got exposed so bad. They exposed themselves so bad with the Epstein files. Oh my God. Could you have imagined a bigger backfire? We have all these Democrats that have been accepting money from him for 10 years. And then we have retards like Jasmine Crockett that just goes out there and just blatantly lies to her base. How's everybody doing? Mr. Menace, I'm back. Now let's get into this, man. There's a lot to go over.
Democrats have been using every lever available to us, calling for congressional hearings, which I have for survivors.
Really?
To be centered, to be heard on the record.
Why wasn't there more clamor in the Biden administration to make sure that these files were released?
Well, I can't speak to.
Of course you can't. Please tell us why, Milk Dud. Milk Dud!
What I will say is Donald Trump ran on this, on the release of the Epstein files.
But Congressman, I just want to jump in there because Jeffrey Epstein died in a jail cell in 2019. Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell, who you referred to, was prosecuted, convicted in 2021. But President Biden was in office, Democrats were in office, and could have pushed for this very argument to make sure that survivors were honored.
They don't care. Milk Dud don't care.
Sure.
Was it an error
sure.
to text Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing?
You know, I take Stacey Plaskett at her word, and
Would you have done the same thing?
I don't. I also agree with her that Jeffrey Epstein is reprehensible, and that's her word, and I agree with her.
These people are disgusting. They knew Epstein had already been charged as a pedo, and they continued to work for him and take money from him. Stacey Plaskett only gave the money back that she got from Epstein after she got outed. She kept it until people say, hey, don't you have money from Epstein? Why don't you get that back or give it to the victims? Like, what are you doing? So once she was forced to do it, then she did it. These people disgust me, man. Let's get into some more. Shout out Savati. Here's a clip from him.
Yesterday.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin.
Wrong.
George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review.
Zeldin himself explaining on X, writing, yes, Crockett, a physician named Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who is totally different person than the other Jeffrey Epstein, donated to a prior campaign of mine. No freaking relation, you genius, he writes in large letters.
Here comes the coat and the lies.
Do you want to correct the record on the people?
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make a donation, your picture is.
What did you imply? What did you imply? You low capacity, low IQ, degenerate. Oh my God. Can you imagine having a base of people that vote for you? And this is like how you literally gaslight them into retardation levels.
There, and because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
You just did.
That's exactly what you're doing right now.
Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people.
Oh,
bullshit.
Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says, is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
A registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know.
Just shut up about it then.
Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask,
She's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one because she shouldn't even be in the class. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson.
I would feel so insulted if I voted for Jasmine Crockett. I really would like have to take a look in the mirror and be like, am I really that stupid to have voted for someone so just like her level of stupidity is beyond anything I think we've ever seen in a politician before. And this could be debated for sure, but I mean, she's definitely up there for one of the dumbest politicians we've ever had.
Stacey Plaskett after this controversy emerged?
I have not.
Just in case you don't know what the controversy they're talking about, Stacey Plaskett is a delegate from the Virgin Islands, right? Where Jeffrey Epstein ran his whole operation, right? She was caught texting Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing where she was questioning Michael Cohen. He was feeding her information to ask, so she had no idea what he was even telling her about, but he was telling her to ask her that, to ask Michael Cohen these questions. This was after he was already convicted pedo. This was in 2019. It was after that article came out about when 50 or 80 women came forward, and it was over. It was like the dude was a chomo, and she kept working with him. Democrats were in bed with him. She took money from him even after all this. So did this dude.
Last night to sink the resolution against Congressman Plaskett in exchange for not bringing a censure resolution.
We've made clear repeatedly we're not going to unilaterally disarm.
So you're saying there was no deal?
I'm saying we will not unilaterally disarm. Not now, not ever.
Mr. Leader, why wouldn't you speak to Stacey Plaskett?
I said I haven't spoken to her since the censure resolution went down.
No.
Listen to him snap.
I have not spoken to her since the censure resolution
Have
went
you
down.
talked to her about this tax controversy?
She and I have talked, and it's a private conversation that will remain private.
Yeah, they don't like answering questions about this, do they? That's weird because Trump's been doing it for years. But he can't answer simple questions about why are you trying to keep this woman who she's not even allowed to vote. She's not a voting delegate. But yet she's on top of all these intelligence committees, trusted with like high-level security information. Why does she have a role doing that if she's working with convicted pedos?
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Are you at all concerned that the recent allegations against Democrats, such as communicating with a sex offender and embezzling FEMA funds, are going to harm the momentum that your party carried out of the elections earlier this month?
We're going to continue to focus on the issues that matter for the American people. Affordability, lower the high cost of living, health care. We've got to fix our broken health care system, and that begins with renewing the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
How does fixing our broken healthcare system mean renewing the thing that caused it to break in the first place? You absolute idiot. What a complete moron. Yeah, guys, vote Democrat. This is what you get. You get Timu Obama gaslighting you. And they love it. They love this piece of shit.
House Oversight Chairman Comer said yesterday on the floor that you had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner and took money from him back in 2013. This was after he was on the sex offender list. Any comment on that? And will you be holding members accountable regardless of party affiliation if there were any misdeeds related to the Epstein files?
Was that a serious question or a serious statement from
you got caught,
malignant clown James Comer?
Oh, yeah.
That I had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner? That I accepted money from Jeffrey Epstein? What's extraordinary to me about the clown show on the other side of the aisle is that they lie with impunity on things that are objectively verifiable. And why do they do that? It's because for months, Republicans have been burying.
You know what I think is funny is that this could have been the biggest Uno reverse ever in history, and that Elon Musk and Trump conspired together to use Trump derangement syndrome against Democrats. Use their own Trump derangement syndrome against them. And what I mean by that is they are really leaning into getting Democrats to do the things that they don't that Democrats wouldn't normally do, but using, like, say, Trump says to do this, and then they know, like, the Tylenol thing was the biggest get dead giveaway. Like, saying, don't do Tylenol when you're pregnant, and you have Democrat women just taking pills of Tylenol to like own Trump, I guess, and give their kids some kind of weird disability. Yeah, you really owned him. But they could have done this and said they've already met up twice since they kind of had their fight. And they knew that Democrats would never vote to have the Epstein files get released. But if they made it seem as though it would somehow implicate Trump, they would have to, no matter what, release everything, which all we've seen is them get exposed for this. They only released 10 pages. Democrats only released 10 pages from the emails that they released. The Republicans released all of them. So they cherry-picked 10 pages, got caught, and then Republicans said, oh, we're going to just release it all. We'll go through it all. Who cares? Well, they don't care. They want to get everybody out. These people tried to mislead you. Do you see it yet? Do you see how they play these games? No, of course you don't. You'll still vote Democrat. Everyone in California will. So let's see if this clown was telling the truth.
So let's read it to make sure. To Jeffrey Epstein, and that's the real Jeffrey Epstein, not Jasmine Crockett's Jeffrey Epstein. This is the real Jeffrey Epstein. From Hakeem Jeffries' campaign. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars of the New York delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. Hakeem is committed to electing a Democrat majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in a DCCC fundraising dinner with President Obama and Hakeem Jeffries. It ends with a number for Jeffrey Epstein to call to go to the dinner and, quote, get an opportunity to get to know Hakeem better.
Timo Obama.
Here's the evidence. The email speaks for itself. The only stone-cold liar in this debate is Hakeem Jeffries.
Clown.
So, Mr. Minority
Far
Leader,
left scum.
Take a deep breath. Chill out. Stop lying. Stop with the juvenile name calling and own up.
The thing is they don't care. Democrats don't care if they're being lied to. They only care about narrative. They don't care about facts or truth or, witness or victim testimony. They don't care about any of that. Lawyer, prosecutors involved in the case, they don't care about any of that. All they care about is the narrative that they can somehow implicate Trump in this thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, I don't understand why people don't understand this. It doesn't even matter. Facts don't matter to them.
The fact that your campaign solicited campaign cash from Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein was texting with congressional delegate Stacey Plaskett while she was sitting in a congressional hearing with President Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen in 2019.
Did they reach out to you to talk with you about these payments?
No, ma'am.
And documents recently released by the House Oversight Committee now show that Plaskett, a delegate of the Virgin Islands, and Epstein, a resident of the Virgin Islands, were coordinating in real time Plaskett's questioning of Trump's former fixer during the hearing.
Scum.
At 2:24 p.m., Epstein texts, Cohen brought up Rona, keepers of the secrets. Plaskett responds, Rona? Quick, I'm up next. Is that an acronym? Epstein replies, that's his assistant. About 7 minutes later, Plaskett asked Cohen about Trump's assistant.
As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
Though her name was redacted in the documents, the Washington Post first reported that the timestamps line up with Plaskett's questioning in the hearing. Plaskett, who was a non-voting delegate, faced a vote to censure her after the text came to light, but it ultimately failed. Plaskett has defended...
Because Republicans went behind everyone's back and made a deal. Scum. You're all fucking scum.
...with Epstein, saying that she took texts and calls from many of her constituents.
I've been a prosecutor for many years. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth.
Scumbag. Work with
having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have.